We're live. It's our twice weekly meeting night. If you'd like to be a member join the meeting, you got to be a member of Stunt Hangar and be a supporter within the last 3 years. I'm going to post at the bench. Let's see, we want to share this. Invite, copy invitation. Close this out. We go over to Stunt Hangar. Home. And then we're going to talk about the classifieds. I'm a little ticked off. Let's see here at the bench. At the bench. And a new topic. This is Monday. Monday night hangout. And paste. And post. All right, the link is live now at the bench. Over the last few days, I put into classifieds, as you guys may or may not have seen, but I have put up some classifieds. And 2 times, somebody has clicked the button to buy it now and not paid. I'm going to relist it again. You click the button and you pay the bill, or at least notify me of, hey, I want to send you a check or something. Now, if this happens again, I'll just ban you guys from looking at, the people that do that, from looking at the classifieds. Hey, Gary.
Right. How's everything with you?
Not good.
Good. Yeah.
It is not good. I mean, like, I don't have enough problem with Chris breaking her arms. I mean, she broke her shoulder, broke it right here, her arm. And
Yeah,
they haven't put a cast on it or anything. They just put it in a sling. Boy, it's all black and blue.
Did she hit something on her way down, or
The sidewalk.
ew? Hmm.
I got my dumb neighbor next door. I've told to pull up a car length so she can get in and out on the pavement. She's real clumsy, and I don't know. I'm just aggravated. People will not listen. And then I got this problem with this classified business, and I sold some stuff to Singapore. I'm not paying the freight, and I made it real clear. There's 2 options. It's $83 or $101. Because otherwise I'll just refund the money and sell them again, because they'll sell quick.
That's a long way for shipping for you.
I knew it was going to be expensive. I knew it. It's kind of like when I shipped that tour pack. I shipped the Harley Davidson tour pack to England. I felt so bad to the guy. It was $700 to ship there. I felt so bad. I said, I'll split it with you. But I'm not doing that anymore.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, Stunt Hangar's been slow today. I wonder how busy this is going to be tonight.
Wait and see, I guess.
Tell
Yeah.
Carl, you got Carl Reed's phone number?
Yeah.
Call him up and tell him he can come on. He don't understand. He's a member of YouTube. I went ahead and made him a member on Stunthanger too. I'll only do it once. You guys got to learn. It's real simple. My patience is running out. I can't fix your computer from here either, so figure it out.
Yeah, so the mic says sell in the US only.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I got it all boxed up, ready to go. I don't have the customs form. I took it to the post office today because I mailed another box, but I took it to the post office and got this stupid customs form. Customs declaration dispatch note.
The first one in?
Yes, you are.
Oh, there's Gary. And there's Steve.
You're Steve, yeah. Steve, come in with you.
I want to point out this red airplane behind me.
Yeah, what is that red airplane?
What is that?
Nothing of a great import.
I didn't know how many would be on tonight. What are you doing, Steve? Are you building anything?
No, still no, my shoulder rebuilding. I'm still
Yeah.
recovering.
Chris broke her shoulder.
I heard. Oh my.
Who did?
My wife, she broke her shoulder.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How'd she do that?
Fell on, she's not real graceful. Fell on the sidewalk and hit the curb.
Oh,
Oh no. So it's the actual shoulder, not their arm,
Well, the bone broke right here.
right here. Oh wow.
compound
You got her-
fracture, simple fracture.
Oh, there's no bone sticking out, so
Fracture.
They got her in a cast.
nope. They just got her in a sling.
Oh wow. Must not have been displaced any.
She's got to go back Friday to the doctor.
I'm going for my first follow-up tomorrow.
You talk about bruised. It's a big time bruise.
Oh,
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
the fractures are
Left
worse
or
than a
right?
break, aren't they?
I don't know.
Left or right?
Left.
If she's right-handed?
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be worse. Could be the other way around. Could be the other arm.
Yeah, how about it?
About once a year, this shit happens. Break a leg, break an ankle, break a shoulder, break a hip.
Good grief.
Well, we heard your hip was broken last month.
Yeah, I heard that too.
What happened?
Nothing. Everybody thought that I broke my hip. No.
No, it's Keith Trossel too.
Yeah, Keith,
Something,
yeah.
something got posted somewhere. Somebody had a goofy.
Yeah.
You got to remember, I'm an ex-motorcycle rider. I know how to bounce.
Yeah.
What do we got here? We got some new stuff on this. My notes. Auto start for future meetings, whatever that. Transcripts.
This Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't run a Zoom session since they update, so I don't know what's different.
Start AI companion. I don't know what that is.
You don't want to know.
speaker gallery. Let's go to gallery.
Is Gary already nodding out on us?
No, he's looking at his phone.
Now he's calling Carl Reed. Carl Reed can't figure out how to get onto the forum or onto the meeting here because he thought he was a supporter. Well, he is a supporter on YouTube, but he's not a supporter on Stunthanger. And you got to be a supporter on Stunthanger to see the link.
Yeah, people don't realize it's two different things.
Yeah.
Do my donations of all those videos get me a free pass for a year or so?
Oh, yeah. That's why you're here.
Oh,
Oh, Bob, speaking of money.
Yeah.
You get the
Oh, yeah.
money order?
thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Christy, my wife was asking.
Your wife's not happy with me, I can tell.
It was a real rigmarole to get a money order. It's not as easy as walking into the drugstore like it used to be, you know.
Going to a post office.
Well, I'll tell
Yeah.
you what, Joey Matheson, he bought an airplane from me and I shipped it with one of his friends back from the Nats. It was $500. He
Oh.
sent me 5 $100 bills in the mail.
Ooh. Oh man.
I said, Joey, that's crazy. He said, ain't no big deal. He was a pipe fitter. He had money.
Oh wow. Okay, I got a question. That brings up a question. What's the difference between a pipe fitter and a plumber?
I have no clue.
They're in the
Yeah.
same union, but they got different titles.
One plumbs, the other fits pipes.
Thanks, Gary. I knew you'd come through.
You always count on Gary. It was this guy who had a parrot, and the parrot would pick up stuff really quick. And the guy went out one day, do some shopping, and he forgot he had called a plumber. And the plumber came up the door and knocked on the door. The parrot said, "Who is it?" He says, "It's the plumber." Parrot says, "Who is it?" He says, "It's the plumber." Parrot says, "Who is it?" "It's the plumber." Goes on for about 5 minutes. Guy's getting increasingly agitated. Finally says, Parrot says, "Who is it?" He says, "It's the plumber." And the guy has a heart attack and dies right on the front step. And the owner of the house comes home and he says, "Oh, who is it?" The parrot says, "It's the plumber."
Yeah. Pretty good.
Mr. Rice says hello. Good evening.
Who?
Rice.
Oh, Wayne.
Rice.
Did you call Carl?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said, "Gonna get on here. Try to get on." And as soon as Mike says the crack. So
The crack. What are we talking about?
plumbers or something, maybe. I don't.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, Joey lived in Las Vegas and he fitted all them pipes that go to them big casinos, you know, the 10-inch. That's what he was, a steam fitter. You know, he fit all high steam pipes, welding, shit like that. Big money. But he's passed away, which is hard to believe because he was a young guy. But he was a big guy, and big guys just don't last.
You should live forever then, right?
Absolutely. I should be here around a couple hundred years. But I still need to know what that red airplane is.
I don't know. It just showed up here one day. I
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
know what it is. It's the plumber.
That
Yeah.
trims but fools you.
You need to make that with the twins on it. I can, you know, one on each side.
Yeah, I'll get right to work on that after I finish the 5 I'm working right now.
Yeah.
Actually, it's 6 altogether, but I'm actually accelerating 2 of them. I got the wings done for 3 more, but I got all the parts done practically for 2 of them. I'm just making the mold buck bases. I've just been working on those today. Got the bases ready to accept the foam on top when they're dry.
What do you make them out of?
These are 1/8 inch plywood with 3/4 square on the bottom, just so I can grip it in the vise.
I just been using my hard junk balsa wood.
You can do that too. Yeah. I find this worked okay. I size them, they're custom sized after they're made anyway to fit perfectly. You can I put all the formers in vertically so you can split them and take a sliver out if you have to reduce the size a little, or put a sliver in if you have to increase the size a little bit. And we're talking a few thousandths of an inch, but you can custom fit them at each former station so they just fit on perfect.
Yeah.
Because I use 16th, and you got to be pretty accurate because there's not much room to sand.
6250 don't give you much.
No, it doesn't.
That's why I like that 77,000 stuff, and I think that the 332nd is even better, but it's a little heavier.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you get used to. I've been having good luck with the 16th, and I don't have any problems with it. So, I mean, you got to make sure you put a coat of epoxy on the inside, heat it, wipe it out, and then put some carbon veil in there, and brush it in with a little bit of epoxy and wipe out as much as you can to prevent that starved horse look. I did one and I forgot to do that. And I got a little bit of a starved horse look, but the other ones are like that. I did the carbon inside. They're like dyes. They're really strong.
Actually, what I've been doing is I've been using 2 1/16 pieces and putting white glue in between, thin out some white glue and paint the whole thing, wipe it off real good, and then I put wax paper on the buck and then clamp it down. And so you end up with an 1/8 inch piece that's perfectly molded. And then you can sand the crap out of it.
Jeff Traxler did something like that when he was here. He was building West Dick's, what do they call that thing? The velvet. He carved a beautiful, I mean, absolutely gorgeous mold, and the 2-piece thing. And we were able to use the saran wrap method over that. And he did a spiral wrap of, I think he used 32nd one way, and then brushed on some epoxy and put the other way.
Yeah.
And it was light, and it was like a girder. You couldn't twist it if your life depended on it. It was really nice. The whole fuselage weighed like 4 ounces. It was a big fuselage.
Has anyone heard from Jeff? Is he?
I have not a long time.
Yeah, last time I saw him, I think was not
A couple
last
years
year.
ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
He came in with Billy and spent a week here, and then he came in by himself and spent another week and change here. We worked mostly on guitars, but we did mold that fuselage while I was here. He's a talented guy.
So did you get all those motors sold?
No.
No.
Excuse me.
Here comes Pete Bauer.
I will though. I mean, I did a few the other night, and then 2 nights in a row, and I sold most of them. I mean, well, not most of them, because I still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 15 left.
Wow. How many did you start with?
I don't know, a few. I can't believe them OSLAs were snapped. LA 25s were snapped up. I guess they're doing racing with them because I got to deliver them to Brodak.
Oh, okay. Hello, Pete.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. I do like your background.
That's what I'm working on.
I know.
Yeah.
You made any progress?
Yeah, I'm ready to paint.
Oh boy.
How much does it weigh right now?
Oh, I have no idea.
Scale guys don't worry about that.
It'll be 9 pounds.
Wow.
And then it's 72. It's 6 foot by it's 6 square feet of wing.
Hmm.
Yeah. What is that old man's name that's a member of our club? He's a scale guy.
Oh, Frank Beatty.
Yeah, Frank Beatty. One night in a meeting when we were at the Grand Glaze Library, this has been, 20 years ago. It seems it probably was 20 years ago. Hey, Jack and I would go up there, and Frank said, "What do you think of this?" I go, "Frank, it's really nice work. What are you gonna do? It's like made out of a 2x4." It's like, I don't know, 2 pounds. It was ridiculous plywood, I see, you don't build them to crash, you build them to fly.
I have flown some of Frank's planes. They were a challenge.
No
Yeah, I
doubt.
understand they were. And he did those biplanes with the landing gear was so close together.
Yeah, he used to like to make the 1920s
Yeah.
vintage racing planes,
Uh-huh.
And man, some of those real close, the landing gear is like that far apart, and
Mhm.
they were in solid gear, no spring in the gear. They were quite a handful to get off the ground. Once they were in the air, they were fine, but on the ground, they were a handful.
Well, he would put I don't know, some type of engine in it, and he'd have the same amount as the engine in nose weight,
Yeah,
make it balance.
They were always OS 46.
I don't know, some.
X. They had an X in the name.
have you seen Frank lately?
No. Last time I saw Frank was at a swap meet in Columbia, Illinois. I don't know, it might have been 2 years ago now.
Yeah, 2 years ago, he came to the Nats just to watch. It was
Uh-huh.
great, him just sitting around and talking to him. So, yeah, his family brought him about 2 years ago. He's well into his 90s.
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't heard anything about him lately.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
got to be. My dad would have been 96, so he's got to be like 98. He was
hmm.
older than my dad.
Bob, do you know who Get the Picture is?
Yeah. Why?
He's got a message to you on the chat.
What does it say?
Well, I don't know if you want me to read it or not. Well, I guess it's out there, isn't it? Buy now, 6 work for me. So I sent you $115 to your membership. I was trying to buy the 049 engines.
Yes, I got it.
I tried twice and it failed twice. Buy now, it didn't work for me.
Okay. I sent his engines out today. You look on the forum, you'll have a message with the tracking number, Tony.
Okay, well, hopefully he heard that. I don't know if he had to go to work or not. He said 6 work for me. I don't know if that meant he has to go to work. Things get sometimes garbled up when you're typing. So hopefully he heard that.
Yeah. Well, all you gotta do is open up the forum and it blocks you from going anywhere. You have to read your message. So
Oh, okay.
So, is Bob here or just his plane hanging here?
he's
It's
off
just-
doing something.
It's just the red plane. That's our guest tonight.
Yeah.
Just the plane is making an appearance.
Yeah. The people. Oh, there he goes. Okay. He said thanks, fat fingers. Okay. So he said thanks.
Yeah. I sent that off today. And if the guy from Singapore is watching, I sent you a message. You gotta send me, pick one of two choices, either the international or the International Express. One's 83 and the other one's 101 on the shipping.
Wow.
And I'll ship that out tomorrow.
Oh, that's caffeine.
No, Singapore?
Oh, No, caffeine's in Indonesia. I don't know who's in Singapore.
Jake?
VJ something or other.
Oh, Jake Moon.
No, it ain't Jake.
Well, he is there, but
But he bought the two PAs and the Rojet.
Oh, nice.
You know, he said, "Can I get a discount?" Well, shit, I'm already discounting them a couple $100.
All right.
And I'm not going to pay the shipping. And so if he doesn't want to pay that extra $80 or $100, I'll refund his money and sell them local here in the States, because they'll go like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All you got to do is let me know. I guess I'm going to have to get with my guy on why that PayPal button is not working, or the buy now button is not working.
Mm. Is that part of the classifieds?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just like eBay, only without fees. You know, everybody's bitching and moaning. It's just like eBay, no fees.
So if somebody other than you posts something, how does that work?
Same thing as that I do. You go in. I made a video of how to do it. It's real simple.
Oh, okay. I'll watch it. I don't have anything now, but
These stay up for 2 weeks.
okay.
You know, if you looked at our old classified, the ads were 2 years old, because nobody would take out their
Yeah.
take down their stuff. So this is automated. In 2 weeks, it's gone. So if you don't sell it, you got to relist it. And if the guys don't like it, they say, "Well, we'll sell on eBay or Facebook." Well, knock
Right.
yourself out. It's free.
Right. Yeah.
I'm starting to get a whole different attitude in my 20th year at doing this.
Pete, does that airplane you're modeling, does it have retractable landing gear?
no,
Oh, okay. It looks like the nose wheel might, but not
No.
the mains.
no, none of them do, and that's why I like it, because I don't want to have to mess with retracts.
You got plenty other flight options you can take advantage of, and
Plenty of others, so I didn't need retracts. So there's only a couple choices: twin engine, high
Mhm.
wing, fixed gear. You can do an Islander. You can do the Otter, twin Otter.
mm,
This has a little wider stance than the twin Otter, so I like it. But those are very simple scale planes to make without a lot of complexity.
mhm. You got flaps.
Flaps, yeah, and boy, does that thing hang in the air when you drop the flaps. I did them scale like so that the hinge is below, like on a full size plane. And when that thing comes down, that plane will just hang in the air.
Mm.
You're gonna have a sound box in it.
I don't know. Because the electric, it's not terrible sounding, but it's not quite right. But last time I flew, they didn't really. The sound is just a small piece. I got to look at my scores from last time and see. The main thing I wanted was I built the new plane for the more complex paint scheme, because that's where I can pick up the most points.
If you remember when you flew against me when I had my shoestring, you
Yeah.
could really only hear the sound box on the ground while it was idling,
Yeah.
and because in the air it's just,
Yeah.
just
So is sound part of the score?
Realism in flight.
Oh, realism in flight. Okay, I could see that.
And that's a piece of realism, how it looks, the attitude of the plane, how does it look in the air? how does it respond, and sound is a piece of that. They actually have that written in the F4 rules, that sound is a piece of it. So I
Huh.
got to build me a real turbine so then I can get a perfect score on that.
Hey, I got a question. What's that red airplane behind you?
We thought that was sitting in for you today, that you weren't coming. The plane was sitting in.
I get to say, what's that red airplane?
Yeah, how about that?
So you're gonna fly inverted?
No. No,
No triangle loops with it?
no. We had years and years ago, I had a top flight P-47, 60 size plane, and we looped it. It looped.
Hmm.
It's got
How
the
about
wing
that?
area, so it wasn't pretty. It really sagged coming out of it, but it made it.
Just so I can clarify for Brendan, that what do you call the loop? That's a circle.
Oh,
You're not going to let me live that down.
Of course not. You're one of the guys now, so you get your turn in the barrel like everybody else.
Yeah.
Pete, what is that color called? I mean, it's not exactly red.
now it's
Maroon.
it's more of a purple, but I've talked to the guys down there, and it's not a standard color, so I'm just trying to match it.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna give me some paint samples. I'm gonna try to match it, or I got the paint samples. I'm gonna try to match it, but it's a purple color.
Yeah.
It's maroon.
Yeah, it's very, and of course, in every single picture, it looks different depending on the lighting.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Depending on if it's sunny or cloudy, or if the sun's on it or not directly on it, it looks different. But I just got to pick one and say, this is what I'm building.
Is the
Yeah.
manufacturer of that airplane still around?
Yes,
Call them up and get a paint chip.
they didn't paint it. I got to find, yeah, that's a good point. I try to find who did I got the documentation here somewhere. It was built in the 80s, but then it was rehabbed around 2018, and that's when they painted it.
Are you gonna get the registration? When I did mine, of course, I'm not a scale guy, but when I did mine,
he pulls out the big book and he says he's not a scale guy.
I got the
Yeah.
I get the FAA registry
Yeah,
of the airplane that I did, and I got the
let me take that off.
pictures.
Yeah.
But
That
there
was
was
the trick for you, is there weren't many color pictures.
yeah. Well, I talked to some people that had the airplane. This is a 3-view. Oh, and I got the paint chip. But except for chartreuse chip is kind of invisible.
Mm.
They're Randolph colors.
I have an Islander book that's
Ah,
got pages and pages of documentation on each plane, what serial number leaving the factory, the registration number, who owned it. So I
Right.
got,
how many are there?
they're making them again too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there it is, Sparky. I like that. That was a nice plane. You still got it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's hanging on the wall.
You gotta fly it. I like that plane. What do you fly? What's the engine in it?
Electric something or other. I don't know.
Electric.
Oh, I thought you had did John have the 4-stroke in it?
John had a 4-stroke in his.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah.
See, I wanted to do electric because this airplane has a little cowl underneath,
Yeah.
a scoop underneath here. And if you put the 4-stroke in it, you got a head sticking out of there. That don't look very scale.
Mm.
So did you put the ESC back so it gets nice and cool by the scoop?
Let me show you the cowl. I'll show you.
Pete, what is that plane actually used for in aviation?
Racing. Oh,
No,
you're-
not the shoestring. I'm
Oh,
talking
oh,
about the one Pete's modeling.
It's like 8 or 10 passengers, short hops, a lot of short hops over in Europe. There's a joke that there's actually a flight up in Scotland somewhere, up with the Shetland Islands, where it's literally a 3-minute flight.
Wow.
Wow.
They take off, fly across, and land. It's a 3-minute flight.
Hmm.
But they use a lot of short little island stuff. They're pretty short take. They're not STOL exactly, but they're not too bad for takeoff. So they use them for lots of short runways.
You know what would be funny is on that 3-minute flight to watch the stewardesses how fast they can serve coffee and to still get.
Oh, there it is. Let's see it.
Yeah, make yourself big, Bob. There we go.
Yeah. Look at that.
You remember at the Nats, this flew off, magnetic, flew off and chipped it right there and chipped it right there.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that happened at that year's Nats, but I put all my crap inside it.
Yeah.
Huh.
But ESC sits right here, so it
Oh yeah.
scoop comes in here, cools ESC, and it drops out the vents.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You know what engine would have worked in there? I was talking to Dave Gerke this morning, and he is collecting, and some of you might remember this engine, the Aero 35. Anybody remember that?
No.
It was back in the 60s, and the guy who designed it was a genius. And if you can picture it, the piston was laying in the same plane as the crankshaft. In other words,
Parallel.
it was right above the crankshaft, and the head of the engine was facing forward, and he had some kind of mechanism in there that would work a crankshaft. And Dave said they run just like big Fox 35s.
They had a 60 of that too, because the guys at the Worlds in 04 had one that was a 60.
Huh. Yeah, Dave's collecting them.
It was a weird looking engine. I mean, the piston went this way.
Yeah,
you know?
the shaft was this way, and the piston went this way.
Yeah.
Here it is.
It makes
you
for
got a
some
picture
very
of it?
difficult engineering things because the loads are axial to the bearings, not radial.
Yeah.
You make that bigger.
Yeah, there it is.
There you are.
Huh.
Dave says they run really well. They tend to overheat. He said you got to be careful about cooling. Crazy.
Yeah, that is.
What's crazy is me trying to figure out how the thing works inside.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be very efficient.
Well, according to Dave, they run well. You know, Gene Paulette had retrofitted his Skylark, not the Ed Southwick Skylark, the one that looked kind of like a Zephyr. He retrofitted one and did an article on it, flying models, back in the late 60s.
I had heard stories for F4B that like the Russian guys used to always make engines that fit the cowl, no matter what that meant. Offset pistons, inline pistons, they used to hand make engines all the time.
Very clever.
The only bad thing about that is if something breaks, then you got to make another engine, you know?
Yeah, parts are not available anymore.
Yeah, you can't go on eBay and pick up a spare.
Mm-hmm.
You can go see Dave Gerke and pick one up. He's got a bunch of them, apparently.
Was it manufactured in production, or were these onesies?
No, it was that one happened to be an American engine, I think.
Was it manufactured in numbers or just one-offs?
No, they were manufactured. They were sold. I mean, I remember the advertisements for them.
Wow.
Yeah, like I say, I saw a guy with a 60 at the Worlds in 04. And you remember in 04, they had all them tents up and all that. They were going around. I was looking at all them weird motors. Them Russian guys or whatever brought over a lot of that weird stuff.
Yeah.
And they had one that was much bigger than a 35. It was, 60.
Oh, them Russians.
Since I'm gonna be painting soon again, I got a question for you guys. What are you using for masking when you're painting for masking different colors?
I
The
use
only-
vinyl tape.
Yeah, but don't use that stuff. Wait, who made that?
This is K tape. This is the best there is.
Okay, yeah.
K-tape?
Yeah, I used the only place I could get it was on Amazon called K tape. There.
Yeah, I say it. Thanks.
I use blue fine line 3M, but that'll stuff's good. But don't use any Tower Hobbies. I got 10 rolls of it. That red stuff that was $3 a roll. That shit don't work.
Yeah, go to the automotive store. Make sure it's fresh.
Yeah.
You know, some place that sells a lot of it.
Yeah, because you don't want the old stuff that gets,
Right.
yeah.
You know,
And as
it's
far as masking tape goes, there's only one tape, in my opinion, that works for the shit, and that's 3M automotive finishing tape.
Hmm.
It's not blue, it's yellow.
I use the blue tape, but not as an edge, just for everything else.
Right.
Well, this stuff here will put an edge. You can paint on this and it'll make a perfectly straight line. This is automotive refinishing masking.
3M auto refinish. That's what I need, is to be able to paint a line right up on that.
Yeah,
3M automotive refinishing masking.
yeah.
You know, when you're asking off my opinion, when you're asking off a paint scheme, you want to use as thin, narrow tape as you can get away with, because you don't want to, when you're pulling it back up, you don't want a lot of adhesion pulling up the substrate. And so what I've learned to do, and we all have probably, this is probably something everybody does, is pull it back at 180 degrees to itself and get a heat gun and just ahead of it, heat it up, and the stuff will peel off real nice and easy without pulling up the paint underneath.
Just a little bit of heat.
Just a little bit, like even a hair dryer will do it. But a monocoat heat iron set on low, right ahead of where you're peeling, just heat it up a little bit and then peel back at 180 degrees, shearing towards the line you painted, and it peels off real pretty.
Yeah, you doubled the tape back on itself.
Yeah.
180 degrees on itself.
And you can see I'm just doing a couple straight lines.
Here's another trick that'll help you out. Do not let the paint dry. You want to peel the tape off I wouldn't say the
Immediately.
minute. Within five minutes, you want to start unmasking
Yeah.
it,
Yeah,
because then the paint will level out and you won't have to chip off so much damn flashing.
yeah, it's just pretty much straight lines. I don't have anything complicated.
The blue fine line to go around the corner,
Yeah.
and that automotive finishing tape is the best. You can get it on Amazon. It's about, what was it, $40 for 10 rolls? About $4 a roll. But you got to buy a sleeve. You can't buy one roll. And that stuff there is at least a year old, and I'll have to buy new. I won't use that.
How wide is that? Does that look like 1/2 inch or so?
No, that's 3/4, but you can get it in 1/2 inch, but it's way expensive.
And if you have a piece of glass, you can lay it out on a piece of glass and cut it into thinner strips. That's what Bill Werwich used to do when he made all those scallops.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, all the airplanes he did with scallops, he did it all by eye, no templates. All by eye. The Juno and all those were done by eye.
Wow.
I was looking at Stunt Hangar, and they're under the painting one, painting and finishing, and there's a thread on taping, masking for monocoat, and that Fred Sesquin. My God, is that plane beautiful?
Yeah, he's good. He's a professional builder.
Yeah, your signature's on it, Bob.
I'm sorry?
Your signature is on the paint. He somehow has your signature on it.
Oh, that one was the whole shot master.
Yeah.
And he asked for my signature, and I guess he made a copy of it and put it on.
Yeah. It's gorgeous what he built. Again, and then I saw he's got the Pampa symbol and your signature right next to it on the wing. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I got that airplane published for him in Model Aviation. I got the cover too.
Yeah,
he deserved it. He's a good guy. They called me up about a year before that, or a year and a half before that airplane was made, and he wanted to have. He said, "Can I get plans for the actual whole shot? The profile one I did." And I said, you know, what? He said, can we get a number of them? I said, well, I'll just send you the file and you just have them printed off as many as you want. And what they did was they had a building contest and everybody had to build a whole shot. And I was the judge. They sent me pictures of all the airplanes and then I judged the airplanes. And then I sent the winner a couple of videos. I sent some videos down or something for him. It was pretty cool. And then he decided to build, you know, a larger, much nicer looking version of it.
Is there one that's an I-beam? That's what he built, isn't it?
I think it is an I-beam, yeah.
Yeah, because Danny's working on one of them. It's a little airplane.
Yeah, it's not big. And it's not a full stunt ship. It's a fun airplane.
That's his whole shot.
Yeah, the whole shot master it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, I-beam. Yeah.
Wow.
And then
And that's a profile?
No,
No.
mine was a profile. Based
I mean,
on the
what-
original design by me, yeah. There it is.
Oh, yeah, I remember that article.
I
Good
just looking at this on, man, this is really nicely done.
He does beautiful work. Hey, what's that red airplane?
It's,
That's a Sidewinder engine.
Mm-hmm.
and that is Monaco, right?
I think
Oh, yeah.
the wing is monocoated. And I think the wing is a fuselage is paint.
That's just when I saw this, I was looking through the thread looking for information on different tapes, and I saw this. God, this is gorgeous.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to build another one of these someday. This is a Hunt designed, Hunt inspired design. He didn't design it. I mean,
What's that?
Wait. That's my sorcerer spotlight for everyone.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's when
A little bit like the Genesis Extreme.
yeah, but it's got a rudder.
Yeah.
This one here has the engine side wound. I mean, the engine sits at a cant, so the pipe runs down the.
Yeah, we used to do that too. Robbie's Europas are like that.
This is a 32F OS. When I first started monkeying with it, I had a less nearing pipe in it. A Bob McDonald gas pipe header. I had to make me a header out of a gas pipe. That airplane flew real well. I sold it to that guy at Fox. What the hell was his name?
The guy at Fox.
Yeah, Fox Manufacturing, a representative for Fox Manufacturing. He, pardon me?
Duke Fox.
No, he passed away. I sold him my Viper Super Glide too. What the hell was his name? Real nice guy, but that was
Was it Bill James?
no, that was 20 years ago. More than that, but 25 years ago.
Yeah, good friend of Scarinzi's.
Fox was gonna kit that or whatever, it's supposedly, and nothing ever came of it. Good flying airplane. You know, I've heard his name several times, and now I can't remember the damn name.
I can't think of anybody.
You'll recognize his name when I figure it out, when I think of it.
Yeah, it's not important.
And that won't happen till tonight at about 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I remember.
Both right up in bed. Hey, I got his name.
Yeah, you could make a post on it then.
No.
Yeah.
This is not model airplane oriented, but Robbie, my son, has had the same problem I have, one of the same problems with the stenosis. And he goes to a chiropractor who's giving him cold laser surgery. And I went for my first treatment today. I got 11 more to go in this. And I mean, I've done a lot of research on it. And if you have pains, there's a good chance this could take 50 to 70% of your pain away, and it stays away for a long time. It heals, promotes circulation, and heals the area. Now, after one treatment, I can't tell you if it's working for me or not, but it's something to, if you have pains, especially nerve kind of pains or back pains, it's something to look into. I did a little research on it. And it seems to be the real deal. Robbie's had tremendous success with it.
Great.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, we'll see.
Good.
How often are the treatments?
Twice a week,
Twice a week? Oh, okay.
about 15 minutes, and you feel a little bit of a tingle, but nothing major. We'll see.
Yeah.
I sure would like to get to the point where I could go out and fly 8 or 10 practice flights in a session. I can only do 2 or 3 now at the most, and you can't stay, at any kind of proficiency level doing that.
We'll have to build you some kind of simulator then that you can just sit and do it.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Once the real deal is gone, it's gone. But I'm going to fight it tooth and nail as long as I can. See what happens. I love flying. I just don't want to give it up if I don't have to.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, John Lowry.
John Lowry, I know that name. Yeah.
I knew you would know that name. I just was gonna, I just needed something to jog my memory. So I said, I'll go to Google and then when I got there, there it is.
Yeah, make
So
sure
Google
mad
helped.
that you had to do that because you should have remembered it, right?
If Google helped, you didn't.
No, Google didn't help, but I
No,
just,
it did. Got something going.
yeah,
in
I
your
went
head.
to I went to Google and I was getting ready to go over there and get the keyboard and type it and go, oh shit, I know, John Lowry.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Has anybody here tried that? What's the name of that stuff from Randolph? Phil.
I have not.
I know Paul Walker's been using it. A few other people have been using it. It popped up on someplace on Facebook today. A guy did a prowler of all things. Looked great in silver. It's a dope product, and it's got a lot more silver pigment in it than the regular silver does, and it's got a filler in it, almost like I think a zinc stearate or something. So it's both a indicator and a filler. So when you sand it, you can see what you're doing.
Is it nitrate or butyrate?
I don't know that. I'm going to call up and find out.
Oh, let's look.
Randophil.
Yeah, Wix Aircraft.
Yeah.
So I too have heard people talk of that. Is it silver or is it gray?
It's silver.
Really?
Yeah, well, they may have different colors. I don't know, but the one that I saw was definitely silver.
Boy, my experience with silver is adhesion is poor.
Yeah, that's why I stopped using it years ago. But this may be a different, different compound that won't do that.
Yeah, I got it, Sparky pulled up.
Walker's been using it, and he likes it.
Well,
there it is.
Okay, Randophil, RANDO-FIL.
Over either nitrate or butyrate, you can spray it over.
Randophil, it's $367 for 5 gallons. Let's see.
Ooh.
so there must be nitrate then.
That'll
Might
be
be
enough.
butyrate.
That'll be enough for that big twin I'm building.
Quart is $30, gallon is 75.
Yeah, that's nothing.
No fee for shipping. That's good.
No, that's the hazard fee.
Yeah, no hazmat. Non-tonic material designed to spray and build up over either nitrate or butyrate clear dope and provides protection against ultraviolet rays that damage the fibers of the cloth. Thin as needed with butyrate thinner 9703, so it is butyrate. Used as a fill coat, wet sand completely dry, quarts and gallons must be sent UPS ground only, hazard. I'll get me a gallon, try it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a gallon of the thinner and a gallon of the paint.
Well, I got lots of thinner.
I got plenty of nitrate thinner. I got 2 gallons of that, but I don't have any. I don't think I have any butyrate thinner. Let's check.
9703 is the number on the thinner.
When you buy Randolph's, do you get it shipped right from the factory?
Me, I just go across the river and pick it up at Wick's Aircraft.
I got a gallon of butyrate thinner, so I'm good. I'll just get a quart. I'll try a quart first, see how it works.
Well, over the years, I've made several large buys from Randolph's of the dope, and probably 2 of the 3 shipments was damaged.
Wow.
I mean, they made it right, but it was a mess.
I just got in a bunch of stuff. I got a gallon of nitrate, 2 gallons of nitrate thinner, and 2 sets of the superfill, 2 quarts of superfill kits. So I threw those in there because by doing that, I got free shipping, and
Right.
I got one of my buddies to buy it, one of them from me. So I got plenty of nitrate thinner. Now I got butyrate thinner. I want to try this Rando fill.
But the shipping was successful, no damage.
No, not at all.
Oh, good, good.
I got it from Aircraft Spruce and Specialty in Harrisburg, which is, about 100 miles from me.
Yeah, I'm getting it from probably, I think it's the Pacific Northwest.
Mhm.
Buy from Wick's, you get 10% off. That pays for the taxes anyway. Stunt 10 discount code.
Does Wix have an outlet near me?
They'll ship from right here, I believe.
Okay.
I'm sure they ship worldwide. I used to go over there and they had all kinds of spruce. And I went in there last time. I said, Scott Wicks owns the thing. I said, Scott, where's the spruce? We quit selling it. Nobody wanted that shit.
Mm.
He's an organ distributor. They build organs, and I'm talking about organs that have pipes on them this big around.
Wow, big pipe organs.
Yeah, and all the woodwork is beautiful. I mean, they got one half of the factory is airplanes, and the other half is organs.
What do you use spruce for? What size spruce do you need? What do you use it for?
I was going to try to make a spruce spar at one time, but I found that just that stuff, I go to the lumberyard and buy it's nominal 3/16 by 2 inch by 30 foot long, and I can cut it any length I want. It works just fine.
Spruce has got a lot of sap in it, and it's sometimes difficult to glue properly and work properly. I prefer basswood.
Well, spruce has a longer, straighter grain than
does.
basswood. Otherwise, they're pretty similar.
Yeah.
You asked where do we use it? The carrier guys, I built a profile carrier last year, and they recommended, and I did it. You edge the entire fuselage, a balsa fuselage with spruce, with maybe 1/8 inch, 3/16 spruce.
This is lumberyard white pine, and you can't hardly beat it. It's great. I mean, it is like an ounce. This whole spar here is 1.25 ounces after hollowing it out. And I built many spars out of this stuff. But it's getting harder to find because there's no more lath and plaster anymore.
Yeah.
When I bought out all that wood, when BP Products and Champion Products went out of business, actually he passed away. Dick Sarpolis called me and said, "You want to buy some balsa wood?" I said, "How much?" He said, "How many pieces?" He says, "About 200,000." I said, "Ha ha ha! How much?" He says, "About 200,000." Actually, it was, I think, more than that. This guy had a 3-story concrete blockhouse building, and we took several vehicles, big vehicles, 4 trips, and we still didn't get it all out of there. And they were loaded to the gills. Trailers, station wagons, SUVs, and we had like 4 or 5 of them, and they made several trips. Amongst all that was a whole bunch of this. And this is nominally 5/16 by half spruce. Really nice, like perfectly straight spruce. I have a whole bunch of these. I don't know what to do with them. If anybody needs these, for the cost of shipping, I'll send you many as you want. And it's really, really strong. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Got that long straight grain in it.
What are the dimensions, Bob?
It's 5/16 by half.
Hmm.
So you can strip it down or whatever you want to do. But
Not only that, Wicks used to have aircraft plywood, 1/8 inch, 16th inch. They ain't got it no more. They quit selling wood airplane stuff.
yeah, when I bought that stuff from Champion Products, I got, I don't know, 30 pieces of plywood, everything, and they're all finished birch, everything from 32nd to 1/2 inch, all white finished birch. I still have a bunch of it. I got a bunch of light ply too.
Yeah, I used to buy my plywood by 4x8 sheet, and I'd cut it in half in the parking lot and bring it back in 2 4x4s.
Yeah.
And but he ain't got it no more. I gotta buy it at the the regular rip-off price. It's $50 for a piece of 64th plywood, 2 foot by 3 foot, or what is it? 1 foot by 2 foot, or
Yeah.
$50. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. A lot of places sell it under the name Marvelite.
We noticed you spoken and raised your hand. I don't know what that was about. Maybe it was
hanging up. I got to go off and go back on.
Maybe it was looking at me. This is AI powered now. Probably going to be a problem.
Here, I'll put a plug in real quick for the F-14.
What kind of airplane is that?
Oh, I'd have to remember. An RC-1. I gotta remember what that is. But those are all the sponsors for the F-14, and the t-shirts are available at nasa.com to support the team, and those are all our sponsors. And you see Brodex in there, Dubro's in there, Horizon's in there.
Baba.
Real nice shirt. So nasa.com is where you can get them, supporting the F-14. That's my plug for the night.
I wonder how Sonictronics ad is doing. Let's check that out. See if anybody's used it.
Sonictronics, Hank Hankinson.
Well, it's a gal that owns it now, Rhonda.
Yeah, she worked for him for years.
Yeah,
they were one of our advertisers all the years I was at Flying Models.
And she told me the story about it. Let's see here.
Rhonda's a big blonde.
Big blonde.
Yeah, big blonde.
She's really knowledgeable about airplane stuff.
She's really neat, and she was a very friendly, very professional person. She is a professional person. I guess Hank is either retired or passed. I'm not sure which.
He passed away.
Did he?
What happened? How this all came about was I called him up and I wanted to get my glow drivers repaired. I said, you guys, because I got like a box of them, and she said, who are you? And I told her, about the farm and all that. And I said, how much is it? She said, oh, they're 14 or $14 plus shipping to to repair them. I said, okay, great. And we started talking. I said, you know what? And I didn't want one. I didn't want her to give me one. I just wanted to buy one. And she said, I'll send you one out. So I haven't got it yet, but so she's sending me out the latest, greatest one.
They make good stuff. A lot of hardware items. He had a plastic molding company. That's what his main job was. The hobby thing was a sideline thing.
I've sent 10 over that way. K&S, I've sent 981 people. Zap has got 2595 from here. And Rich's Brew has got 3,468 clickovers. Let's see. Lee Machine's got 9,661. And National Balsa has 13,652 clicks from my website to theirs.
Huh.
So I can't say they all bought, but I put them in that direction. You know what? I didn't see Wix on there. How come Wix is not there? Let's see. Oh, it's on page 2. Wix aircraft has got 15,000. No, it's more than that. 105. That's a lot of clicks over there. 153729.
100.
Yeah, 153,729. That 800 and no, that's 8 million views. Page views come up on the thing. So he's been on the longest. 8 million impressions. I like it that I can track that stuff because when I call the people up, say, well, they say, it doesn't work. Yeah, it does. I can tell you exactly what's going on. My job's to get them there. Your job's to sell them the junk.
Well, I had a K&S experience this week. I can't buy music wire in town. It just doesn't exist. So I bought on Amazon. I went through your site, Sparky, actually. I have a Amazon Prime, but if I enter through your site, I think you get a
Right, I do. Yeah.
So I needed 1/16 music wire. So they had K&S music wire, 15 pieces for, I forget what it was. So I ordered that. It comes to me, there's 3 pieces, not 15. So I type in whatever it was. And they said they'd make it good, but they never sent me any other information. So it came in bundles of 3 pieces taped together.
Yeah.
So I bought 15, received 3. They owed me 12.
Right.
Instead of sending me 12 wires, they sent me 12 bundles of 3. So that's what, 36. So now I have enough 16th music wire
for 10 lifetimes. Yeah.
They need to hire someone that can count.
The guy over there to talk to is Scott.
I'm not dealing with K&S. I'm dealing with a third party.
Amazon, yeah. Well,
yeah. So, but it's
K&S
product.
Do you have a true value?
Yeah. They don't have it.
They don't have it, huh?
They don't have it.
I get my.
And I have real metal suppliers for machine shops. I spend time there too, but they don't keep the music wire stuff.
You can go to McMaster Car and you can also get drill rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have a Prime account, so shipping was free.
Right.
And you get a piece of it.
I was going to ask you, Bob, about that drill rod. What's the difference?
It's annealed. It's softer.
Oh, easier to bend.
Yep.
Yeah. And some people make control horns with it. because you can tweak it.
Yep, that's what I make mine out of.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's what Danny's using too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gordon's been using it for years.
It's a little shinier.
It's a lot shinier. The crappy rod that we get. Yeah, that's drill rod.
Yeah.
The crappy wire we get is black. It's got, scale on it, mill scale.
Back in the 90s, I had a lot of problems with K&S wire breaking. I had a lead out break.
Yeah.
Lost the 96 airplane. And I also lost the Bronze Dog Saturn to a broken push rod. And it broke like an occlusion in the wire, like it was cut with a disc.
Yep.
And for quite a while there, I didn't build airplanes. I was afraid of the wire. I couldn't get good wire.
No.
And then my dad was working for Rodak for a while, and he found a source. And that exactly what you said. It had a lot of scale on it, mill scale, that black wire, but that was a better wire. That wasn't K&S.
That black wire, if you bend a real tight bend, it'll break, it'll fracture, and you can see it in the corner, right straight across.
Well, don't bend it so tight.
Yeah.
Well, I've been using a K&S bender, and if you bend a 90 degrees, it's pretty tight.
Well, you bend fast or you bend slow?
I bend slow.
Well, you can only bend so tight a radius,
Yeah.
But the K&S ought to be the right radius. You ought to be able to use that.
Yeah, you should be able to.
I'm sure they corrected it because I haven't heard anything more about it. But people were having trouble with that wire back then. I wasn't the only one. And it wasn't like where it was the termination. It was right in the middle of the wire. Lost 2 good airplanes in 1 week and a trip to Sweden.
We got the air conditioner running today because of humidity.
I got your note about your wife talking about the paint. My wife has the same exact issue. When she's still working, she's younger than I am. She's still working, so when she goes to work, then I can open the doors and hear her paint. And by the time she comes home at night, it's pretty well out of here.
Now, I have an indoor workshop. It's just a bedroom in the house. So I look at a can of paint, and she's telling me about it.
You paint something up there?
But mostly I paint outdoors. That's its own nightmare.
Yeah, those little gnats don't stand out too well.
Don't they make it fly better though? We get them all flapping in unison.
Well, we get some kind of bugs out at Booter Park, and they love the white or yellow airplanes. They are all over you.
All right, I got the shipping payment. Yep. The expensive one, 101.35.
Oh, he went for the
Just for shipping?
Yep, that's to Singapore though. 3-pound box to Singapore is
That's a lot.
101.35. I had 2 choices, and I sent him the choices. I took it today and had it weighed and said, what does it cost to ship? And the first one is Priority Mail International 83.20, and that'll take a week or 2 to get there. And then they got Priority Mail Express International. That's 101.35.
I thought you were talking about the Randofill.
No.
Oh,
That's shipping his engines to Singapore.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's not 700 like that tour pack was. I sent a tour pack to England, Bob, Harley tour pack. The guy wanted, I figured it's worth I think he paid $400 for it. I figure, $300-400 for the thing. And I said, well, you pay the shipping. It was $700 to mail that tour pack to England. I felt so bad I split the shipping with him. So I lost
what was
money
that?
on that.
What
Right.
was that?
A tour pack on the back of a Harley, you know, the box on the back.
Oh, okay. Motorcycle part.
It was a big box, but I lost money on that, and I said, never again am I gonna. I mean, somebody will ask me, will you ship international? Yes, I will, but you have to pay the shipping and the VAT tax and all that other crap.
Yeah. Well, guys,
I-
I gotta take off, but thanks a lot for the info on the tape.
No problem.
Take care, Pete.
I try to help the guys out and say this is a gift, you know. That way they don't have to pay that high VAT tax or whatever it is.
Mm. I see Paul got in. What are you working on, Paul?
Oh, I'm gonna cut some vinyl for my son.
Mask?
No, he actually he's got to go on a job site in New York, and he wanted to put like a logo on the side of his hard hat. So
Oh, how about that? Yeah. And I was wondering what Brendan and Angstrom were working on over there. They're really intent. They got 4 hands in there.
So you're gonna make him a logo of a rev up propeller broken at the end?
no, no, they want their department on their hard hats, and so I don't know. It's a group of them going up there to tour one of the buildings that their company's working on.
What are you making, Brendan?
Yeah, we got a baby combat streak, an electric combat streak we're putting together. So,
Oh,
yeah, we got the smoothie totally bronzed and ready to go there. And he got the bright idea that he wants to jump into an electric cafe. So hopefully, I don't know. There was talk this year at Brodax for that being an event. I don't know if that's going to be a thing or not, but he wants to be ready. So,
It's called half E.
yeah, Heffy. And so, yeah, we're dealing with the smallest stuff possible, and the instructions are a little difficult. So we're reading them 2-3 times before we start gluing anything. So
Should be able to fit it all together without any glue and put a drop on every spot and be done.
yeah.
About an hour.
So you had a big party, big family party, huh?
yeah.
That looked good. I saw it on Facebook. How's the practice coming?
You know what's crazy is last year gearing up for the team trials, everything was dead air. You know, in the late summer, when we were working with the Esprit and Dennis's plane. This year it's the exact opposite. Everything is wind.
Yep.
And so, yeah, you know, we got it trimmed right with you, and things were flying well in the wind. But in our field, I've mentioned it before, we got a total set of trees on one side, and then we're at the top of a hill for our flying circle. So, you know, wind might be coming up one side or the other. Then we've got what we call the pool house, is like a little shed that's out there. So you just don't know where the wind's whipping from, and he can be in the middle of a flight. And I think the other day we had like back-to-back flights, and we went a complete 180 around the field at some point, watching our winds.
We got a lot of turbulence. Well, be careful, but at least you know you trimmed it on a very wide open field, right? We
Yes.
trimmed it. My field is wide open, and we got the trim right. So you don't question the trim of the airplane. You know what you're experiencing is, you know, your venue. You have turbulence off stuff, so don't second guess and try to start messing with the airplane too much, because it was pretty close.
So
yeah, you know, it led to a question. You know, we asked, I think last week, you know, are you flying to the judges? And you said yes, but we started talking about, well, what do we do in practice here when we got some of these different conditions?
Practice conservatively.
Yes.
Mhm.
And Angstrom's like, well, I think I should, you know, go with the wind every time. Like, yeah, we're not trying to play hero ball out here in practice.
I don't think you're going to have much different wind out there. Apparently, it's not that far from the ocean, and you know, you have several thousand miles of ocean blowing in on the west end of Australia. It's easter. It's a wind coming from the west. So I think you're going to have pretty constant wind, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So Bob, let me ask you a question. Do you change like RPM if it's really windy? I mean, are you slowing the plane down or speeding it up any?
Well, it depends on the airplane. It depends on how heavy the wind is. If it gets real windy, you need that penetration on top. Of course, now these timers with the G-force functions, that helps a lot, and you can punch up into this stuff a lot easier. I tend to want to have enough power to get through the top. So if I go a little faster on the bottom, it doesn't really bother me.
Okay, and you still bias the wind, right?
No,
No.
never. I was taught never, ever, ever to bias the wind. Fly them dead downwind, fly the airplane. And Billy Simons would have shot me if I tried to bias into the wind. That's amateur hour,
Yeah, judges appreciate that.
Dead downwind. You asked me, that's my answer. Other people have their answers.
Yeah, there's
Bob,
other
how do
answers
you-
out there.
Bob, how do you trim? Okay, since you're not biasing, if you're directly downwind, sometimes some planes have that wind up.
Yep.
How do you trim to minimize that?
Well, the active timers help a lot. And of course, I'm flying twins now, and the twins have so much disk area, they don't accelerate very much. But so that I have a special situation. But even when I was flying single engine airplanes, glow engines, which would unload, the glow engines, no matter where you set them, are going to try to unload to their highest RPM they can get to, given their head, they're just going to continue to accelerate. A good example of that is you take a Nobler with a Fox 35 and a 10.6 prop out, heavy wind. You do one loop at one speed, the next loop is twice that speed, and the third loop is ballistic.
Yeah.
Because the engine's unloading and gaining horsepower. So you're on the climbing side of the horsepower curve. The wind is allowing it to unload and wind up. So that's one of the reasons we went to tuned pipe airplanes at higher RPMs and flatter pitches. If you take a car in high gear, okay, and you're on level ground and you're not turning a whole lot of RPM, that's like a Fox 35 with a 10.6, flying a 2.4, and you come to a hill, and if you don't downshift, what happens? It slows down, right?
Going up, it slows down. Yeah.
Going up, it slows down. When you get over the top of the hill, what happens?
It speeds up.
Yeah, and what happens is the gears are allowing it to go faster, the high gear, and you're going downhill, and it's like leaning into a left hook. Now you take a car and put it in low gear and floor it on level ground. You're not going to go very fast. When you hit the hill, you're not going to slow up very much going uphill. And when you go over the top of the hill, as the engine tries to accelerate, it's already going as fast as it pretty much at its torque peak. So it goes onto the falling side of the horsepower curve, and it has brakes, plus the gears have brakes. The prop itself won't let it go any faster. So a lower pitch prop at a higher RPM was the key to flying in wind, in my opinion.
Well, I asked Jim Lynch what the secret was, and he told me you just squeeze that handle a little bit tighter as it's coming around.
You fly the airplane.
Yeah.
My dad always told me he had the simplest piece of advice. It sounded moronically simple, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, he's exactly right. He said, I don't care what the conditions are, make the airplane go where you want it to go.
Yeah. Well, after King Orange last year, Gene Martin came over to me and he says, do you have a rule book? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, go home and read it. I said, Gene, I was just trying to survive. It was pretty windy last year.
Yeah.
I said, I was just hanging on and trying to survive.
Well, a lot of people panic. I mean, the airplane's going to go where you point it. I mean, it'll pull harder and it'll have a little more stick pressure. But if you just get fearless. Just get the best advice I can give you. Get fearless and make the airplane go where you want it to go.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I made it through it, but that was some of the toughest air I've ever flown in ever.
Were you flying electric, Paul?
Yeah, I was flying my Shrike.
Back in the old days, we used to do a lot of whipping in the wind. We'd get accelerate. You do you're doing a vertical eight, you do the first loop, you're backing up, and then you whip it, and then you go up into the top. And we all got pretty good at that when we had to at those setups. But now we have, you know, boost, and you really can almost fly flat-footed in pretty heavy wind right now. I mean, 747s get moved around by wind.
Oh yeah.
So our stunt ships are going to get moved around too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I'm flying the timer, which got the boost in it and the brake, and yeah, it seems to help some.
Yeah.
Have you tried that climb and dive yet, Bob?
No, he called me or emailed me and said that he's going to reprogram something, and he's going to ask me to send it back at some point in time. I got 3 timers. I'm evaluating 3 different setups. I got the Fiorati, which I've been using right along. I got 2 brand new 12-pin Igor timers and some brand new Spin 44s, not the pros, you know, the fast ones. And I also have that, what does he call it, the new one, the hourglass timer?
Yeah, I mean, I just call it climb and dive, but yeah.
Well, I think it's a different name for the new one.
Okay. What
Yeah,
what
I think
ESC are you going to use with it? What ESC are you going to use with the climb and dive?
That jury's still out on that. I don't understand. You don't have to use a real expensive one. I got a whole lot of Talon 35s. I'll probably use those.
Okay. Yeah. You got to.
Yeah, we originally all we ever had was the Talons and the Phoenixes from Castle, but with the F2B, you have to have the engine, the motors, the prop stop so that they can judge the landing. So I think it was the Phoenix wouldn't allow for that.
Right.
I couldn't set that. So then we flipped over to the Rebel, the V2 Rebel, sold by Innovative Designs.
Yeah.
And what's great about those is those, I think he markets that the climb and dive has been tried with those a lot, and you can buy them brand new for. Gosh, I think I got a 60. Maybe I'm misspeaking here, but a 60 amp one of those for like $35. So a lot more easy on the pocketbook than the Castle Creation.
Yeah, you've basically got to turn everything off on the Castles and just dumb them down, because the timer has takes care of everything that Castle's doing.
You mean to tell me, Brendan, that they won't judge your landing if the prop is rotating?
Don't quote me here, but it's this once it cuts, once they can see through the prop, you know, and see the individual blades, that's when they start the descent, the 1 lap descent. They start.
When it's obvious that the motor is not producing power anymore.
Right.
Right. I think that's how the rule reads, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's.
But it doesn't have to quit turning.
No, it doesn't have to quit, but I'm pretty sure it said they have to be able to see each individual blade at that point. So it's yeah, it can still have some turn to it, but they want a distinct stopping motion, not a spooling down from where it was at.
Because that'll help you to stretch that 1 lap at 5 feet to the touchdown point.
Yeah.
About the climb and dive, you know, as far as to answer Paul's question, I'm going to rely on Frank Donnelly, who helped do some of the beta testing apparently on the original climb and dive, and he's a good friend. And he said he'd come up here and help me. I'm not too proud to ask for help on something I don't know about.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd be able to, if you, answer some of your questions too. They're not. It's pretty simple. Do you have an Android or an iPhone?
I have neither. I have this iPad that I'm working on here with Bluetooth. I don't have a smartphone. I'm too stupid for a smartphone.
I'm just trying to think. I think you could probably get. I don't know. I'll have to see if it'll run on an iPad, because once you get to the field, you set all your brake and everything off your phone.
Well, he told me about Bluetooth. It would run off. I just put the app on here. He said I'd be fine.
Okay. Like I said, I don't know if it runs on an iPad. That's interesting. I'll have to.
Well, I asked Paul about that. He said I could do that.
Okay.
Just as long as it had Bluetooth.
I got the FAI rules here. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
So we can thank Hedy Lamar for model airplane stuff, huh?
Okay, according to the FAI rule, landing maneuver begins when the model leaves the base altitude in power off condition. That's
Yeah.
all it says.
It's obvious that the power is off when the prop is spinning slowly. So
Yeah. I don't know if they have anything in the judge's guide. Let's see. No, they don't have anything in the judge's guide about it. So
it's
that's all
pretty
we're going
obvious.
by. Is
Pretty
that
obvious
those-
when the power shuts off.
that sentence. Power off condition.
Yep.
So I guess if you stop the prop, it's more obvious.
Well, they've all adjusted to electric by now because like 99% of them are flying electric. So they understand when the power shuts off.
Right, right.
Now, a lot of guys, like Howard has this little thing. I think some of the other timers, I'm not sure. I think maybe the Climb and Dive has it too, where at the end of the flight, it'll give you a little burst of speed just before it shuts off. So you have a little bit more to do that one lap at, nominally 5 feet before you touch down. It's supposed to be one lap from the point where the motor stops producing power till you touch down. And you have to be at 5 feet at that when it shuts off. So you got to glide a whole lap at 5 feet, descending to a smooth touchdown one lap later. And that's hard to do,
Yeah.
Yep, it's very difficult to do.
So if you have a burst of power just before it shuts off, you get some speed, and that helps. And that's what a lot of these timers are doing. Or Howard's got a special add-on feature, I think, that does that.
So it leans out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow, don't everybody talk at once. Paul, you're muted. You're talking to yourself, man.
Paul Taylor is muted.
Sorry. I was just gonna say the Climb and Dive will speed up at the end, but I didn't want mine speeding up. I wanted to sag like the Will Cuban timer, and so you can go in there and change that, but you have to do that in the firmware. So mine just gives me a sag, and then you can set how long after that sag that it shuts off, and I put it at 2 seconds. So I'll get a little sag, and then 2 seconds later it's going to shut off.
Yeah.
I think I'd go for the leaning out and get more power.
Well, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I know guys do that when it speeds up, they kind of climb out a little bit, but I'm already like at 35, 40 degrees, and you're just
The
coming
real
down.
trick is, I think what Howard's got is a cutoff loop.
Well, he does a loop. Probably when he does that, he probably does a loop so he knows where it's going to shut off. But
His loop, his sensors sense that loop and shut the motor off then,
oh, okay.
so that he can choose what quadrant of the circle he shuts off.
But
That's nice.
But that's flying, that's typical for AMA.
AMA.
Where you can shut off at 90, 75 degrees in the air and do a nice spiral down and land. They won't take points off of that. But in FAI
FAI is different.
the judging is one lap from the point where the airplane reaches 5 foot with the power off. The airplane has to touch down one lap after that. At that point, the wheels have to touch the ground in order to get maximum points.
Yeah. Well, the Climb and Dive, the new firmware that he's got has a feature in it where if you pull the plane 3 times,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, it'll shut off.
It still doesn't give you necessarily the speed to do that one lap from 5 foot to land. And FAI is so much different than AMA.
Yeah.
So that speed up thing is definitely an advantage.
That feature in the Climb and Dive is really nice. That lets you shut off the motor whenever you want. If you have a problem a minute into the flight,
Right.
you can shut it down. That's a nice feature. But that's
Or
what that's for.
Have you used that, Jim?
No, but a friend of mine has one.
Show
Okay.
us how that works again, Paul.
What's that? Yeah, it's just 3 pulls. But I told somebody, I'm like, well, when I'm flying, I'm doing this anyway. So I probably shut the plane off in the middle of the clover or something.
Hmm.
Well, it probably has to happen within a certain period of time.
Yeah,
You know, it's got an accelerometer sensing the lateral axis. And
right.
if it sees 3 bumps back, you know, it's a signal. My friend has the climb and dive. He likes that you can program it with RF, you know, through your cell phone. You don't have to open up the airplane.
Yeah, yeah, it's
that's
all
a nice feature.
Yeah, it's all Bluetooth.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I told Paul I don't have a smartphone, so I said I have an iPad. He said, does it have Bluetooth? I said, yeah. He said, you can use that. Just get the app and put it on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna mess with that later.
Mhm.
But it's real easy to program. I mean, I think you got 10 line items there. You just tell it what line item you want to change. It
I
brings that.
was watching Brendan and Angstrom do it at the field last week.
Yeah.
Sunday, and they did it really quickly, so worked fine. The jury's out for me as far as what timer I want to use and what airplane. And you got to remember now too, my case is a little different. I'm flying twins, and occasionally they have retractable landing gear. So I have to have those two. I have to have a function in for twins where you can run the inboard motor incrementally faster than the outboard motor, and and adjust that to a very fine amount of RPM differential, and have the retract function. So the climb and dive has that, the new one, and the Igor timer has that, and so does the Fiorati. So for me, it's going to be just a thing of. Only problem is I'm putting them in 3 different airplanes, so I can go out and fly them all at the same day. But the airplanes will fly slightly different, but the motor functions should be. You should be able to see which one works best for me.
So how many RPM difference do you run the faster do you run the inboard motor?
Well, it depends. It depends. Lately, I've been running them a tiny bit faster, probably about 75 RPM faster on the inboard motor, and allowing me to run the lead outs forward because I'm getting enough tension. That makes the airplane turn cleaner. It doesn't dig in the corners. So I'm getting nice clean corners and still getting plenty of line tension for verticals. So that's a definite advantage in my book. And you can mess with that. You can mess with it at the field, and get exactly what you want. And you can work with the lead out placement and the motor differential until you get the airplane just perfect.
Now you're not running contra rotating props, right?
I am running contra rotating props, but you know what? I'm not sold on the fact that that's a big deal, because back in 2015, I flew that second wind that I sold to Jerry, was it?
Yeah.
And when I flew the official flights, I had both. I had 2 pusher props, 2 reverse pitch props on it. I didn't notice any difference, to be really honest with you. And having flown Gordon's airplane, which has 2 tractor props on it, I didn't notice much difference there either. So I'm not sure that's a real big deal. We'll see.
I don't remember who bought that airplane. I sold all that stuff for his wife.
Yeah. That was the very first one, and it was a decent flying airplane, but the new ones are substantially better. And I also have a single engine airplane here I could use, but I can't use it now because somebody stole my prop.
Which one of you guys got his propeller?
I said somebody stole my prop. They're ignoring me.
Oh, I get it.
He's not biting. That's okay. Try to bring it back in one piece if you can. If you can't, so be it.
Jim, you got quite an
What are
organization.
we talking about, Bob? I think you're laughing at us, Bob. We didn't hear it. What's up?
I was telling the guys I have a single motor airplane here, but I can't fly it because somebody stole my prop.
You know what? Well, yeah. So the only time we've broken one of those props, you saw it, but then we brought it home, and the plane nosed over on takeoff, and it did not break the prop; it shut it off. But yeah, there was almost another $70 in the dirt.
Yeah,
so
it's expensive.
Yeah. So now what we're doing, instead of letting the plane take off on its own because it's on the grass, I'm just holding it. I'm holding it until it's full fire, and then just get it
That's
up.
what you do. Get it off on grass. Don't risk the airplane. You're too close to. You only have one airplane. It's flying good. Don't risk it. You know.
Yeah. Yep. So we're going that route.
Have you ever seen what an airplane does? Electric airplane does with one broken blade?
No.
Well, we had it happen at the Nats. That thing hand grenaded. I mean, it looked into confetti. It went boom. So he chipped his prop on takeoff, and it was bad. It was bad.
David Chang broke one last year up at the Berkshire's meet, the Rentham meet. He broke one on takeoff, and it shook the motor right out of the airplane.
Oh boy, yeah, not looking forward to that. You all were talking about wind flying earlier, and you know, I guess this kid's fearless, like, you know, doesn't really think of that type of stuff. But I think our windiest time up to a point was at Nats. We were flying the second round of advanced, and yeah, there was some wind out there, but, you know, I don't know. He just went up and did his thing, and it was hairy, but, you know, he got through it. And then it was funny. Right after that, about 4 guys just passed on their their second flights. So they saw what was going on and like, yeah, no, we're not, you know, not doing any of that. So
yeah, young guys like that are fearless. My son was like that. I'm like, I just couldn't watch him fly, but he's just like, well, whatever.
Yeah,
they're fearless until they have to pay the bills to repair or replace the airplane.
Oh no, his whole thing was that'll fix it.
Yeah, it's just funny because, you know, he didn't think anything about it. It's like, okay, second flight, you know, go time, you know, the pressure's on here, competition time, let's go. But everybody else after him was like, no, we don't want any of that.
Yeah. Just keep going, man. Just keep going.
And then another fun time with the wind. You know, we've talked about it on here before. The team trials were really hairy. You know, winds close to 20. You know, the whole time out there. But what was fun is we all knew the wind was coming, and Angstrom was the only one to put up a practice flight that morning. And I'll just never forget looking over at the table with all the, you know, the pros there, and every single one of them is just like, you know, watching, just absolutely staring him down, you know, seeing what was going to happen that day.
They were waiting as much as they were watching.
But Angstrom didn't do any of the overhead stuff. He stopped at the vertical 8 on that practice flight, just saying, okay, you know, this is what windy flying is. And he kept it there. But it was just kind of fun to look over and just see all the guys gawking and just wondering what's happening there.
Remember that the airplane doesn't know it's windy. The pilot knows it's windy. The airplane doesn't know it's windy.
I don't remember the year, Brendan, but the year that the Brazilians came, they were wind flying. The engines quit, and they're continuing to fly for 15 minutes. It was unreal.
We do that all the time. Schaefer did 380 dead stick 8s one day out of Flushing Meadow. We were sitting down in the circle just doing 8s. And it was actually, the airplane accelerated after the motor shut off. It was so windy.
Wow.
I could hear, but I think Benet was doing it. I could hear the lines going, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah. We went to a contest up in Plymouth, Massachusetts in 1970. I went up with Gene and his wife and Bill Simons. And we stayed at a friend's house. And his wife had heard about Gene wind flying. And of course, this was right on the ocean. So we figured it's going to be windy. Gene said, well, after the contest, he's on my last flight, I'll wind fly for you. Next day we got up, it was dead calm all day long. And he didn't want to break his promise. So God is my witness. He went out there and whipped the Usama through about 3 dead stick 8s. And it was crawling over the top because there was no wind at all. He was running back and forth and whipping that airplane. and it just crawled over the top and went down. It was incredible. It was some pilot.
Okay, I got to punch out. Good night, everybody.
Be good.
See ya.
All right, Jim.
Good night.
What is John Miller doing? He's been quiet. He's been in and out twice.
Well, my internet provider is, it's cut me off, and so
You pay the bill?
well, I paid the bill. Oh, did I pay the bill? Yeah, I paid the bill, but I just got Starlink, and I'll hook that up, and then they won't get their payment for the bill anymore. Starlink will.
Yeah, you got to watch out for Starlink. It's a thing called latency, and if it's cloudy, it'll interrupt, and we'll see what happens.
Can't be any worse than getting cut off in 15 minutes, getting cut off 3 times.
What I did for emergencies is I got internet on my phone, so it's a hotspot, because I go out and I stream all the contests I go to, and I'm doing it right over my phone. So this is not running on the phone, but I could switch it over to the phone.
Well, I'll try to see how if the Starlink doesn't work for me, I'll get something that will. It's maddening. I've got to the point I don't give a damn anymore. I was very loyal to my provider.
Be thankful it's not dial-up. You'd be going,
yeah. Well, I got away from dial-up way back when we had what was that modem, 3.4 or something rather.
beep, bop, boop, boop, boop.
So yeah, thinking about a couple projects that I'd like to do. Been working on my ham radio station, got that up going, but then the wind came up and took down 2 of my antennas.
No more roof monkeying around.
Well, I avoid that. I don't even like getting on a ladder, but I will get on a ladder if I have to.
Yeah, you've had some problems getting on ladders and such and roofs.
Oh yeah. Well, I've learned one thing. I don't put an antenna up anywhere near that line that feeds from the transformer to the house. Stay away from that.
There's the box going to Singapore right here.
That going to Jake?
No. SVJ. I'll ship it in the morning.
Well, the time is 9:45.
I was looking at a provider for AutoCAD, and thought I might give them a call, see what's going on with it. This one of the providers listing pretty cheap. I've read good reviews, so we'll see.
I got a notice today. I deleted it from one of them free AutoCAD programs that said they're going to cut me off. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not free anymore.
They're not free anymore.
What?
You can get a 30-day free
Paul,
trial.
hold on a second. Paul, which one do you use?
What's the question?
Which free auto program do you use?
It's OnShape.
Yeah, OnShape. Said they were going to cut me off for some reason.
Well, did you just set up a free account?
Yeah.
Have you been using it?
No.
Well, that may be why they're going to cut you loose. But you can just create another one.
Yeah.
There's all kind of control line files out there. I mean, I've found handles and all kind of odds and ends, and all my stuff's out there.
Yeah, that's an SVG file though, right?
STL.
STL.
Oh.
You got to create that in 3D, if I remember correctly.
Will that run G code?
That creates G code.
And so what program do you have to make G code?
On shape.
That's what I
I mean,
just asked you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The STL file is the G code.
Okay.
Well, guys, it's getting close to 10. I got to get up early in the morning. We got something happening tomorrow here, so I'm going to sign off.
Don't break
Good night.
anything I wouldn't.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Bob.
Good night, Bob.
Good night, Bob.
And Brendan and Angstrom, practice conservatively. Go for the gold over there, but practice conservatively in that wind. All right, you guys be good. Paul, be good. Bobby,
Yep.
Johnny,
See ya.
Gary's awake. I can even say goodnight to Gary, and I can say goodnight to Steve. Did
Good
you
night,
open
Bob.
that? Did you open that that lost foam thing to look at it?
Yes, yeah, there's a whole bunch of different shaped pieces of foam in there.
Did I send
And-
you the manual? Did I send that to you?
I got it. I have it. I have 2 copies of it on my computer.
Okay.
Two
I also
different
have I also
spots.
have a video, but I'm only got like a couple left. I'm going to see if I can have some more made and send you one. You're not ready to start building that, are you?
Not with this.
I'll remind me, and I'll call up, and I've got a number of people who want the video. It's a 4-hour video. It's a
Oh, nice.
2 DVD set, and
Okay.
well, the first a third of it, or a little over a third, is about how to cut your own, how to make your own. If you have foam cutting equipment, how to make.
Oh,
But then the last part of the first program and the whole second hour, 2 hours, is about how to build them.
oh, cool. Yeah, I'd love to have that.
Yeah. The more you build them, the better you get at it. So, all righty.
Good night.
Good night,
Good
guys.
night. Yeah, we're coming up on that time, Bob.
Yeah, I know. 5 minutes, and then I got to go down and make dinner for Chris.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She can't.
Anyone
cook.
up on YouTube, or
What?
is there anybody on watching us on the other side?
Probably.
I didn't look. I haven't looked at that in a while.
20. Looks like 20 is up.
Oh, great. So the ad that comes up
Okay.
is the official DNC Act Blue.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
All right, let's see. what
There's
we
20
got.
watching.
Looks like 20, yeah.
25 now.
Is-
Must have been that Act Blue ad.
Yeah, I don't. Doesn't look like anybody's added to the chat though.
No.
Looks
Steve
like we got
Berry's watching the
19
wild
thumbs.
standing.
Hmm.
So Sparky, are you able to get logged into OnShape?
I haven't tried.
Okay.
I've forgotten my password, and I mean, I just don't do. I just, Paul, I am so busy. I don't have time to pick up another hobby.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bit of a learning curve, but it's just another CAD software.
Now, can that read files from AutoCAD? Like if I got something from John?
No, I don't think you can open files with it.
Oh, okay.
It's just more of a, I guess.
It's a file to create the files necessary for 3D printing.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody really knew what they're doing, they could probably figure out some way to force it to do a DWG file type.
Yeah, I think you might be able to export it as a PDF, and then can't you import PDFs into
You can
AutoCAD?
import PDF into AutoCAD, but then you have to go through you have to change it from what do you call it? A raster file to a
Right.
vector file.
Hmm.
And that's where the trouble lies. the programs they have developed to create a raster file off of either a JPEG or a PDF or anything like that doesn't do a good job. It creates multiple lines and does a lot of weird things, and you have to go in and clean it up. It takes you longer to find all its errors and clean it up than if you just set it there and did a trace over. That's what I do.
Yeah,
The most powerful CAD program on the internet that, I mean, it's free and it's even more powerful than it is Blender. But boy, it is so complicated. It'll take you a month to draw a line.
yeah.
Well, I think that's the one the government uses, and it is very powerful. But it's got its whole learning curve.
Yeah.
Because it works different than AutoCAD. So if you train AutoCAD, you got to kind of learn a whole new system.
It'll do meshes. It'll bring it to life. It'll do a video. I mean, it's just so powerful. It's so versatile. It'll do AutoCAD and you can draw with it. And, you know, I don't know.
Well, with AI now, what they're getting is you can actually scan something with your phone, import it into some of this software, and it'll create the part.
Wow.
That's super.
My son's done that. He rides electric scooters or electric unicycles, and he's 3D printed like some saddlebags and some crazy stuff. Just scanning parts off his phone.
So when's your son gonna do like what's his name did to fly a control line airplane on a unicycle?
Well, his unicycle does about 35 miles an hour, but
Oh, wow.
yeah, he looks like Iron Man. He's got shoulder pads, chest protector, full helmet with the, I mean, he's all padded up like he's riding a motorcycle. But don't give him any ideas because he's.
I'm trying to think the guys. Shug. That's Shug.
Henry.
Yeah. Well, he knows Shug. Well, I mean, Shug kind of inspired him to get back on the unicycle. He was riding them as a kid, but he's
All right.
He's done the hammock camping thing, and he's actually the one that kind of discovered Shug or whatever once he started flying the control line planes.
All right. Hey, looks like Brendan and Engstrom have a wing. I want to see it before we drop out. They have most of a wing done.
No, I mean we got the ribs. We got the ribs and a trailing edge. There's a little bit.
No leading edge yet. Okay.
No leading edge, but we'll get
got
there.
a hoop in it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Got a hoop?
A hoop.
Yeah.
Ooh, I can see it.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll address that. We'll get to that.
Cool,
we'll figure
thanks.
that one out. We'll figure
You
that
know
out.
what? You know what? It's either 2 foot by 4 foot ceiling tile is for a drop ceiling, right?
Yeah.
You need one of those to pin that down to.
Yeah, we've got actually our drywall right here underneath this. This is a drywall piece.
But can you pin into it?
Yeah.
Drywall? Yeah.
So pin that down as we're about to put the leading edge into it. Is that what you're getting at?
No, you got to get that thing straight before you go any farther. That thing's got a twist and it'll fly crazy.
All right.
The trailing edge, make sure you get that straight. Maybe use a straight edge, or I don't know how you're going to do it, but you're going to have to pin it down and before you put the other side on it and get it straight.
Okay.
Because half A's don't have a whole lot of pull out, and it'll, it could do a barrel roll. I don't know.
Oh, you don't want that.
No.
All right. Well, we got some thinking to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for showing it off, Brendan.
All right.
Well, guys, on YouTube, it's time for us to end the stream on YouTube. I appreciate you watching. Please like the video and subscribe and share it. And tomorrow I'm going to put up some more engines, so keep watching for those. I got a whole lot of good stuff left.
All right.
I guess the guy who opted to buy the super tigers ain't gonna buy them so they'll go back up again.
Hmm.
I mean, you can't hit buy it now and not buy them. It's not good.
Where are you unloading them again, Sparky?
Well, I got a whole bunch of them. There's 25 of them here. You can only fly one airplane at a time.
I got you.
A lot of good stuff. And I told the guy that I got these from that I would make sure that they went out at a reasonable price and to people who are going to use them instead of them going in the dumpster.
Or or into some static collection.
Right. What this guy's, he's just thinning the herd is what he said. I'm thinning my inventory because he's 80 years old and
You can only fly one airplane at a time.
Yeah, there's no way that I could use all this shit in a lifetime or what I got left. So we'll get them out there to people who use them. All right, so let me find a YouTube here. YouTube.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna drop out too.
You down south, that's called a y'all tube.
Well, if everybody's dropping out, I'll just end the stream then.
Yeah, it's okay by me.
All righty.
Good night.
You okay with that, Gary?
Yeah.
Okay. John, Paul, you guys want to talk to each other or what?
Yeah, we can kill it.
We're okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Fair winds, tight line.